Part 3. Off we go. "We should have crossed lower down," said Renn, as they craned their necks at the thunderfalls. Torak wiped the spray from his face and wondered how anything in the forest could be this angry. All day they'd been following the calm green Widewater upstream, but now, as it thundered over a sheer wall of rock, it was appalling in its fury. Before it, the whole forest seemed to stand and stare. "We should have crossed lower down," Renn said again. "We would have been seen," said Torak. "Those meadows were too exposed. Besides, Wolf wanted to stay on this side." Renn pursed her lips. "If he's the guide, then where is he?" "He hates fast water. His pack was drowned in a flood, but he'll be back when we've found a way to get above the falls." Said Renn, unconvinced. Like Torak, she'd slept badly, and she'd been moody all morning. Neither of them had mentioned the riddle. Eventually, they found a deer track that wound up the side of the falls. It was steep and muddy, and by the time they reached the top, they were exhausted and soaked in spray. Wolf was waiting for them, sitting beneath a birch tree a safe distance from the Widewater, shaking with fear. "Where to now?" panted Renn. Torak was watching Wolf. "We follow the river till he tells us to cross." "Can you swim?" asked Renn. He nodded. "Can you?" "Yes. Can Wolf?" "I don't think so." They started upstream, pushing through brambles and tangled rowan and birch. It was a cold, overcast day, and the wind scattered birch leaves onto the river like small amber arrowheads. Wolf trotted with his ears flat back. The river ran fast and smooth on its way to the falls. They hadn't gone far when Wolf began to run up and down the bank, mewing. Torak could feel his fear. He turned to Renn. "He wants to cross, but he's frightened." "The brambles are too thick here," said Renn. "What about further up by those rocks?" The rocks were smooth and splashed with treacherous-looking moss, but they reared a good half forearm out of the water. They might provide a way across. Torak nodded. "I'll go first," said Renn, pulling off her boots and tying them to her pack, then rolling up her leggings. She found a stick for balance and slung her pack over one shoulder so that it wouldn't drag her down if she fell in. A quiver and bow she carried in the other hand, high above her head. She looked scared as she approached the water, but she made it across without faltering, until the final rock, when she had to leap for the bank and ended up grabbing a willow branch to haul herself up. Torak left his pack and weapons on the bank and pulled off his boots. He would carry Wolf across, then return for his things. "Come on, Wolf," he said encouragingly. Then he said it in wolf talk, hunkering down on his haunches and making low, reassuring mewing noises. Wolf shot under a juniper bush and refused to come out. "Put him in your pack," shouted Renn from the other side. "It's the only way you'll get him across." "If I did that," yelled Torak, "he'd never trust me again." He sat down in the moss on the edge of the bank. Then he yawned and stretched to show Wolf how relaxed he was. After a while, Wolf emerged from the juniper and came to sit with him. Again Torak yawned. Wolf glanced at him, then gave a huge yawn that ended in a whine. Slowly, Torak got to his feet and picked Wolf up in his arms, murmuring softly in wolf talk. The rocks felt ice-cold and slippery under Torak's bare feet. In his arms, Wolf started shivering with terror. On the far bank, Renn held onto a birch sapling with one hand and leaned towards them. "That's it," she shouted above the thunder of the falls. "You're nearly there." Wolf's claws dug into Torak's jerkin. "Last rock!" shouted Renn. "I'll grab him!" A wave slapped into the rock, splashing them with freezing water. Wolf's courage broke. Twisting frantically out of Torak's grip, he leapt for the bank, landing with his hind legs in the water and his forepaws clawing at the bank. Renn leaned down and caught him by the scruff. "I've got him!" she yelled. Torak overbalanced and crashed into the river. Dun, dun, dun. And we'll see what happens in the next chapter to Torak.